Wagwan people, Moneybag Matt is live. You know that I bring the vibes back again with another episode of Keeping It Raw. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I'm back with the Ghetto Wet 3000s, only the real ones know. Alright, today we actually got 3 topics that we're going to try and get through. The first one is it fine if a girl calls you her friend in the talking stage, or should you just quit early? Another one is, and I quote, here's a topic I would gladly appreciate your opinion on, woman and body hair. And then finally, I got a little story that homie sent me. He needs some advice for his boy. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so if a girl calls you her friend in the talking stage, what do you do? Do you stay? Do you go? So the general rule of thumb with being called a friend during the talking stage is that it's a bad thing. But there is an exception. There's one of 2 ways that you can pick up on this exception. So what is the exception before we talk about how to pick up on it? The exception is that the girl is using calling you a friend during the talking stage or putting you in the friend zone as a sort of test / like playful flirting technique. And she wants to see how you react to being put in that position. How do you deal with the pressure? Do you have the confidence to convince her otherwise? She intentionally plays this game with you to see what you're gonna do. So the most difficult part about this whole situation, in my opinion, is not the actual dealing with the friend zone card itself, but determining what her intentions are with this friend zone card. Does she mean it? Are you actually being friend zoned, or is she playing this little game with you? Okay, so what are the 2 ways that you can learn to find out what her intentions actually are, whether the exception is taking place or not? This is the part where you need to be honest with yourself as a person. How good are you at picking up on subtle social cues like body language, double meanings in text, sarcasm? If you are and you know that you're good at this, then you'll know when the exception is happening. You'll know when it's game time. You don't need my help. It's time to shoot that 3. Or you don't need my help in picking it up. You might need some help in knocking down the shot, but that's a whole different issue. This is the part where you look at yourself in the mirror, my G, and you ask yourself, am I that person that thinks they're good at this but are actually not? Look at your track record, ask your friends, someone you trust, but you need to answer that question for yourself. If you come to the conclusion that you're not good at that sort of thing, here's where the second option comes in. You need to have an honest talk with her. Be completely transparent. Set boundaries from the beginning to make your intentions clear. Maybe she's friend zoning you for real because she doesn't know that you have romantic intentions for her. At least if you tell her, she can make an informed decision. Now, if she understands your intentions and she still wants to be friends with you, now the onus means responsibility. The responsibility lies on you to confront your feelings properly. Can you set your romantic feelings aside to actually pursue a friendship with her? Or by agreeing to be friends with her, are you just doing that for her benefit and then you won't feel good in your chest from that moment onwards? At that point, I think you just need to split. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The first option where she's doing the little flirt thing is so fire. My ex did that to me. I've had bare girls do that to me.
Cap.
They're literally like, when the exception is taking place, they're literally asking you, hey, yo, can you handle this? And if you pass, bro, you are inside.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
But yeah, follow those steps and hopefully it helps. Okay, next topic. One that I'm kind of excited to talk about because cancellation station is around the corner. So girls do not like to hear guys' opinions on body hair. That is a fact. What's that? Facts? So the question that was posed to me is, here's a topic I would gladly appreciate your opinion on, woman and body hair. Now, okay, so let's clear up a couple things first, because this is probably the most controversial topic I've spoken about on Keeping It Raw so far, and I can feel all you radical feminists hovering above the dislike button. So just hear me out for a second, yeah? A girl asked me this question, and she asked for my opinion, which is exactly what it is, my opinion. I think that a lot of people today, particularly young people, think that if you don't think a certain way, that it's not allowed. And I'm here to tell you it's perfectly acceptable to have a difference of opinion as long as your opinion doesn't impede on someone else's standard of living, okay? For example, do I think that it's okay for women not to be attracted to men under 6 feet tall? Of course I do. Now, do I think it's okay for a woman to start a GoFundMe campaign to eradicate all the short gents off the face of the earth? Probably not. I'm not trying to die today. My point being that a difference of opinion isn't the end of the world. Now that I said all the T's and C's, let's actually discuss what I think about this. No. Take two. Okay, so in terms of physical attraction, if I'm trying to link up with a shorty, the less body hair that a girl has, the more I want to lick her from head to toe, okay? Have you ever been to a restaurant and you got your food and there was a hair in it? It's kind of unappetizing after that, right? I mean, I'm trying to eat. So I like the prep work to be done according to my preferences. I am the customer after all. Now, before y'all go crazy, this is not a double standard. Personally for me, when it applies for me, I can't speak for other homies, but for me, this is not a double standard. Because when I'm linking with a shorty, I make it a point to make sure that I'm clean all over because I want her to enjoy her meal as well, bruh. It's like it's a two-way street for me. You feel what I'm saying? Also, a little tip for my homies out there, and shout out to my boy Flex. When we were back in Lagos, I used to live in Nigeria. My boy Flex told me in I think it was 8th grade or 9th grade, homie put me on. And he was like, dog, you don't shave your armpits. And I was like, nah. Cause we're young, or we're kids, I guess. So I just never really thought about it. And he was like, yeah, dog, you should. And I was like, you know how when kids all think the same, anything else is weird. So I was like, bro, what? That's weird. Why would I do that? And he's like, dog, trust me, man. Okay, he said you sweat less, which I now looked this up properly, to confirm my childhood suspicions. There's actually little evidence to prove that you sweat less because of that. But there is proof that you actually smell less because there's less hair to trap the odor. So there's a benefit of shaving your armpits. On top of that, it's just more aesthetic. Homies, if you're trying to get in shape, yeah? Trying to get the muscles pumping. Okay, I need to go back to gym. But you're trying to get the muscles pumping, yeah? And you flex like this. It looks so much nicer when it's clean shaven underneath it. I mean, that's personally what I think. And then if it's harder for you to smell, that's more confidence. More confidence, more gel. More gel, happy lifestyle. What I'm trying to say is I think it's worth it personally. So look into it if you haven't. For the final topic, we got a spicy, saucy ass story for y'all. Trust me, y'all gonna want to strap in. Also, I would recommend putting out a piece of paper at this point because there are a lot of characters in this story. Okay, so I'm finna read the DM that I got. Moneybag Machi. Y'all listening. So basically, right, you can talk about this on Keeping It Raw. So I'm in high school, innit? So I have a friend, let's call him G. Okay, so we got one character, G. So G liked this other hun called L. Got another character, L. So G is my boy. So he liked this hun for a year or two, but he didn't chow or anything. So he left the school last year. So, timeline. G and L, G liked L, but they never hooked up, anything like that. G left the school last year. Now we're in this year currently. So this year, my other friend called Chunks, another character, Chunks, third character, who is boys with G, knew the situation. So at a party, Chunks and L, why did I get a Tinder code? I'm banned from Tinder still. I should probably go check that. Anyways, what was I saying? Okay, so at a party, Chunks and L pooled. So G found out. G asked L, is it true? She was like, it's not like we are dating. It's none of your business. Okay, so this year, another guy called Chunks hooked up with L at a party, but he knew that G liked her, and I assume that Chunks and G are boys. But G, the guy who transferred, now went to L and was like, is it true? And she's like, what's the matter to you? It's none of your business. We're not dating, right? Which is valid. So G was hurt. 2 weeks later, this guy's like, I'm gonna give her a second chance. And as gents, we told him, dog, she sees you as a waste man. So we leave him. So months later at school, there is some event. We brought blankets and that. So my other boy called Z, new character Z, fingered L. So G once again found out, the guy who transferred. This guy's like, Z is lying and stuff like that. He is in denial, I guess. What should I do? Because I'm gonna throw this guy away. So they're all boys. So I said, is G boys with you? Because what is your question exactly? And he said, yeah, we boys. And the question is, what should I do to help him? Because at this point, Jit doesn't want to listen. Oh, Jit is Florida slang for homie, by the way. Jit doesn't want to listen when we tell him that this hun doesn't respect or love him. There is no love. All right. Just to summarize, G has a crush on the girl L. L is the only girl. Girls are only L's? Bars. Anyways, L is the only girl. G liked her, but nothing happened between them on a physical level from what I can tell. G left the school. Chunks hooked up with L, the girl, at a party this year. Then another guy, Z, fingered L. So at this point, it seems like she's for the team. Then the guy who's presenting all of this is not even in the story, by the way. He's just homies with everyone involved, except L, I imagine. So he's asking what he should do to help him. And I'm gonna make this hella quick. I actually have a video that explains the point I want to make perfectly. Roll the clip!
Her main man. I'm her man.
You're a placeholder. You know what a placeholder means? You here until she found better. You the dick that she gets until she found better. When she goes home, she break up with you so she can get new dick. When you the dick that is around.
You're a placeholder. That's for my boy G who left. But this situation is worse for you, G, if you're watching, because you're not even laying dick. There is no benefit from you crushing on her. Nothing is happening for you. This is what I want you to do. Go home. Draw a scale, the scale they used to Balenciaga gold in the old days. And on one side of the scale, you write down all the things you've done for her. And on the other side of the scale, you write all the things that she's done for you. I guarantee you that scale finna be unbalanced. Your homies are real ones for trying to help you see. Well, the guy who reached out to me at least. The guys who hooked up with her, I don't know the situation surrounding that. Technically, L's allowed to do whatever she wants because y'all were never dating or anything like that. In terms of guy code, depending on how deeply G felt for her, it's a bit shaky from Z and Chunks' side. There's plenty of other fish in the sea, and if G wasn't cool with them hooking up with her, that's not cool from them. But if Chunks and Z got the green light to hook up with L from G, then it's breezy. But I have a sense that they didn't check with him, so are they really boys? That should probably be checked. At least the guy who reached out to me for help is a real one for trying to help you see. Because he's telling you the hard facts now, so that you don't look like a dickhead in front of her or in front of other people that aren't your homies, that don't care about you, that are gonna clown you because your homies didn't tell you how it was. Now listen, man, G, if you're watching this, I don't know if the guy who reached out to me is gonna get you to watch this video. I understand why you have horse blinders on. I understand why you're a bit blinded by infatuation. It happens to all of us, my G. But you need to take a step back. You feel me? Cut the girl off, focus on yourself, and from the sounds of what I hear in this situation, I don't know you, but it sounds like you probably need to get your confidence up. Now, what I would suggest to you, you don't have to listen to me, dog. I'm just another homie on planet Earth. But I would suggest maybe start working out. Start going on a diet. Maybe get a part-time job. Start grinding for money. Do a sport. Start talking to other girl. Not in a deep thing, but just to get your confidence up with women. You understand what I'm saying? Try out a few things. Speak to your friends, the friends that you can trust. Low-key, you, Chunks, and Z need to have a boxing match. Y'all need to throw fists to settle this whole predicament. Because they acted a bit booky now that I'm thinking about it. But anyways, as far as this girl goes, did the thing, bro. Woo! That was kind of a lot. Thanks for watching this episode of Keeping It Raw. Please, guys, drop down in the comments more topics that you want me to go over. Drop down any advice you have for G or any opinions you have on anything. Be respectful to each other in the comments. I already have all the other episodes for this week planned. I think I got about... Well, you'll see when I drop them. Catch you. Bow. Damn, bro, they said she got fingered at a school event. That's a bit brazy. If Z wasn't moving Buki, I'd dap him up for that one. That's a bit wild.